everybody. Welcome back to Isolation Station, the anti-social distancing podcast. Today, I turn into Mr. George of the new normal, and I'm taking over Isolation Station this week. Today, we have a very special guest, and it's also a very special episode because we have some hard questions and some hot wings. So we're joined with Mr. George, one of the coolest teachers in school.
I'm not sure about that, but thank you very much, Rafaella. It's a pleasure to be on my own podcast.
Okay. How are
So,
you?
yeah, very good. A bit nervous. I
What?
like spicy food, but I feel like this is going to be a challenge.
Really? I don't like spicy food either.
Oh, well, you're going to have a really lovely time.
Yeah, I know. I'm really
Okay.
nervous and excited at the same time.
So I guess we eat a wing and then you ask me some questions, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go for the first one.
So the first question is, why
The
did you create
first
the
wing,
pod-
surely.
Oh, okay. I think I'm ready.
That's not very spicy. Oh, there's a little bit, but it's nice. Oh,
Yeah.
are you finding it spicy? Oh dear.
Hmm. I told you I don't like spicy food.
Well,
Ah,
this is going to be interesting.
yeah, I'm crying right now. I'm
Oh dear.
crying.
Okay. Well, you could ask. Well, whilst you're crying, you can ask me the first question.
Okay, so why did you create the podcast?
Well, when we started our virtual classes, the whole COVID. Oh, there's a little bit of spice. I'm feeling it. When we started the whole COVID virtual classes situation, Miss Rocio called me and asked me if we could do a radio show. So it was like going to be an hour every week in live where students call in and we sort of talk about different things and we give advice and things like that. And I thought that was a really good idea, but it was quite difficult to be able to really do it. And so we thought an easier way would be a podcast where we have a guest or two guests every week that we talk about something that students might be interested in. And so that's why we started the podcast. The first episode was a little bit, but we, we've now how many episodes have we done? It's like 17.
Yeah.
So that's why we started the podcast.
Okay, so what do you like the most about recording?
So recording the podcast, there's actually quite a lot that goes into, like, we have to work on before we start actually recording the podcast, that's a lot of work, and it's a lot of we have to think about what we're doing and how what topic we're going to do, how we're going to talk about the topic and things like that. And so that's always very interesting to work with other people. So it's me, Rosella and Gabriel, and we do it together, and we think about the topics and we think about what student we want to have on. Some of the students we invite them, and some of the students have asked if they can participate, and we're really happy when students really want to participate. It's fantastic. But I think also talking to students about things that they're interested in rather than things in a classroom is the most fun. And you can tell when somebody is really passionate about something. I remember recording the episode about K-pop with Luana Contreras.
Awesome.
So that was really, really cool to listen to Luana talking about something, and you could tell that she really, really loved K-pop. And I started listening to K-pop after that because I thought, well, if she's so passionate about it, then there must be something interesting. And there's some songs that I quite like.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything. I haven't heard. Yeah. So, why do you think people like your podcast?
Oh, well, I mean, I don't know because I'll be honest, I don't really listen to my podcast. I don't like hearing my voice. Some of the podcasts I do listen to, but my wife always listens to the podcast and she always tells me what she thinks should be improved and what she really liked. But really, that's a question that I think you should answer, Rafaela. Why do you like my podcast or our podcast?
Like, they're fun. Yeah. I haven't watched like older episodes,
Hmm.
but they're fun.
So yeah, our idea was to create something that's not like a classroom. Right? I wouldn't say boring. Classrooms are boring.
Okay.
But I like something that students would listen to, because it's fun, because it's something that they want to, rather than an obligation.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, who's the funniest guest?
Well, so a few weeks ago, we recorded an episode about TikTok with Micaela Matacorena, and I laughed a lot even before we started recording the podcast. I think that was a really fun episode. But I think all of the episodes that we've done have something fun in them. Some of them might not be about the most fun topic, but we always trying to make it entertaining, and so that's the idea.
Now
Let's
the
stop.
second one.
Stop there. We need to
Okay,
record,
well, you-
start again, and this we can. Cheers. That's quite nice.
Yeah.
How are you feeling now?
This is not as spicy as the barbecue one, but I still have. Yeah. I'm good.
Well, some more hot questions.
Yeah. Do-do-do-do. So now, how's quarantine going?
It's a lot longer than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
I think a lot longer than we all thought it was going to be. There are times where I think it's going fine. I feel okay. There are times where I get really stressed and I really want to leave my house. But I mean, it's something that we have to do, isn't it? I mean, I was talking to some students the other week, and it really made me think how, even though quarantine is really difficult, how privileged I am, because like you guys can't even leave the house you can only leave the house for half an hour every day.
Yeah. But
So
I think I can leave. I'm 14.
all right, so sorry. But people under 14 can't leave their house. They can only leave their house for half an hour a day, and that must be very difficult. So I'm really happy that I can, I can go to the shops. I can, do some exercise. But as I said, there are good days and there are not so good days.
So you work out?
I do go for some walks, do some running. Not as much as I would like to do. When I was when it wasn't quarantine, I would play football with my friends. But obviously, we can't do that.
Yeah. Yeah. So next, have you done anything new?
Well, I started a podcast. Does that count?
No.
Okay.
I don't think.
No, I don't think it counts either. Have I done anything new? There's nothing. There's no new activities that I've done, but I've done more things in my interest. So I really like cooking, and so I've cooked a lot of new things that I wouldn't have cooked before. So I've cooked a lot of Peruvian food. So I've cooked sopa seca, carapulcra, foods that ají de gallina, things that I haven't made before. I've also made a lot more, like everyone, desserts, cakes. I think everyone does that.
Yeah, I've been baking a lot. A lot.
Something else that I wasn't able to do before that I'm doing a lot now, it might be a bit of a sort of an old boomer thing to do, but I've been reading a lot more. I've reading more books.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too. I've been
Excellent.
reading after. Yeah.
Is it good?
Yeah, it's very good. I love it.
Excellent.
Yeah. So now, what do you do? What do you do apart from the podcast and school?
Well, I mean, not much. I've started to play some games in my free time. I really like playing board games with my friends when we weren't in quarantine. Obviously, we can't play board games, so we're playing some more games. So a game that we started playing recently is Among Us.
What?
I think you call it Among Us.
I haven't played that.
You've not played it? Well, I've started playing that with some friends. I also started playing Fortnite recently. Just things that are sort of help me to relax a little bit.
Yeah.
I've won 4 Fortnite games,
Wow.
so I'm a pro.
Yeah, I've played Fortnite before, but now I don't. Yeah. So the next wing now.
Oh dear. Okay, let's go.
1, 2.
Number 3. You don't want to eat it?
No.
Well, if you just take a
This
little
looks
bite.
really spicy.
I really like this one.
Mmm. Oh.
It's okay.
No.
It's quite sweet.
Mm.
I thought this episode would be me trying to survive, but apparently it's you trying to survive.
Yeah. I'm not into spicy food.
What's your favourite food, Rafaella?
Sushi. Yeah, sushi.
Have you been eating a lot during the quarantine or not that much?
Sushi or
Sushi.
2 times. Yeah.
Okay, I'm ready for the next question.
Yeah.
I'm recovered. I don't think you are.
I'm not. I'm not. Now, who's your favorite student? I think everyone wants to know this answer.
I feel like that question has no answer. But if you really want me to answer, my favourite student is anybody. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. Next question.
Okay, now, who's your favorite prom?
I mean, I feel like that's the same as the favourite student. I don't think I could answer that. But I will say that all year groups have really, like, there are no year groups that are not good, right? Everyone has some great aspects about them, and they're all very different as well. So, like, it's like teaching each class. There's times which can be very difficult, and there's times that can be very fun, but they've all got really lovely aspects. And every class that I teach, I have some really lovely memories from.
Yeah.
I didn't really answer the question, but there you go.
Okay. So, what made you become a teacher?
So this is a question that people ask me a lot, and I think it's a really interesting question. Sometimes people want to be a teacher since they're a kid, and other ones they sort of fall into it. I think I was sort of on a bit of both. Like, teaching was something that I'd thought about, I'd considered doing, but I'd never really thought seriously about doing it. And when I came to Peru, when I decided to stay in Peru, one of the things that I was able to do and was teach English. And so originally I did it as a job, and then over the course of the time that I've been teaching, I've really fallen in love with it, and now I really love teaching.
Okay. Hey, wow. And now the last question for the third round is, what's your favorite thing about me?
That's a very interesting question. Um, I mean, it's a bit of a cliche, but I think they call it the Mick family. And in a lot of places, I think that calling like people that work in and students of a place a family is a little bit of a cliche. But really, at Mick, I feel like it's really true. Um, we like I think from thinking back at when I was at school, um, the relationship that students have with teachers at Mick is much more sort of it's a lot of a much closer relationship, more of like a family than when I was at school, where teachers were always separate. You would be taught in the classroom, and then outside of the classroom, you wouldn't really see the teachers. And so I think that's one thing that I really love about Mick. What about you, Rafaela?
Yeah.
What's your favourite thing about Mick?
Maybe, yeah, having a great time in classes and yeah, break, break.
G7 English class last year.
What?
English class G7 last year.
Yeah, that was my favorite class.
Well, you're going to make me blush.
Yeah, it was really fun. Yeah,
Okay.
we had a great time.
Well, I mean, as I said before, I really enjoyed teaching, and I enjoy teaching every class that I have.
Yeah.
And I think all teachers would say the same thing.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, are we ready for another injection of spice?
I'm not, but we have to do it.
Yeah. I mean, you can give up if you want.
No, I won't. I don't give up. Cheers.
Cheers. I forgot to cheers it. Oh, this is a bit spicier. You're not liking it?
No. I'm suffering. Yeah. This is like a punishment for me.
I am so sorry. You did agree to it.
Yeah.
I didn't force you.
Yeah, I know. Okay, I'm ready. Next round of more questions. Yeah.
I feel like though, Rafaela, this is the next 3 wings are going to be the hell.
Yeah. I'm nervous. I don't want to.
Me too.
So,
Okay.
my mom asked this question, okay?
Okay.
So, what do you miss the most about England?
Well, so actually, loads of people ask me this question, and for the longest time, I didn't really have an answer. I don't think I think that anyone that leaves a country and moves to another will say that they don't miss the country, right? They miss different things that they like doing in that country. So, in England, I miss spending time with my friends, like the sort of the normal things. But there are some things that really weird that I miss. So in England, because it's cold in rooms in a house, you have a radiator, which has which gets hot. And something that I miss is waking up at like 6 o'clock in the morning, and then putting my socks on the radiator, and then going back to sleep. And then when you wake up again, you put your socks on, and they're really warm. What else do I miss? So because it's cold, sometimes on the windows you get little bits of condensation around the windows. I miss weirdly, I miss getting on public transport because even though you can obviously get on a bus in Peru, I think because in England the buses are double deckers, so you can get on the top of the bus and you sit at the side that the driver is. And when I was really little, I pretended to be the bus driver. So I would say that I think most people would give the same answer, and they're very small things that that you don't realize that you miss until you sort of think about it. But obviously, like the food and the weather, weirdly, even though it rains all the time, are some big things. But the small things that I miss are those sort of things.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So now, what football team do you support?
Okay, so I when I talk to some people from Peru, and whenever I have to tell people where I'm from, there's three category of people that I give different answers. So people that are from the area that I live, I say I'm from Oundle, which is the little town that I grew up in. People from the UK, I say I'm from Peterborough, which is the city near the little town. But because no one outside of the UK knows where Peterborough is, I say I'm from near Cambridge, right? So the football team that I support is the football team from Peterborough, right?
Never heard about those teams.
Well, no one outside of Peterborough has probably heard of them. They play in the third division of England. They play in a blue kit. They're called the Posh. They're the greatest team the world has ever seen, obviously. But because when I'm in Peru, it's really difficult for me to see them. When I was in England, I would go every time they would play in their stadium. I would go and watch them. But because they're not on television, when I'm in Peru, I can't really watch them. So now I'm in Peru, I support Arsenal, right?
I haven't heard about those.
Well, they're another football team. They're in the first division, the Premier League. But that would be so for people that know about football in England. I say I support Peterborough. For people that don't know a lot about English football, I say I support Arsenal.
Okay.
But both of them are not doing very well right now.
Hey, interesting. Now, what's your favorite Peruvian food?
Oh, I mean, obviously, alitas.
Wow.
No. So I would say that every person that comes to Peru says that their favorite food is ceviche. And I think it's very difficult to argue with that because ceviche is amazing. But I think there are so many foods from so many places around Peru that it's really difficult to pick just one. And also it depends sort of what you want to eat. I would say that ceviche would be the obvious answer, but it's not the only answer.
Yeah. Like octopus ceviche. It's the best.
Oh yes, my wife's mum removes the fish and puts in mango. Mango ceviche is incredible.
Hey.
Yeah.
I have to try that.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey, the next wing.
Here we go. Oh, that's spicy. I feel it.
People are gonna think I have COVID-19. Wow, that was really spicy.
I'm out of water and there's 2 more wings, so we'll see what happens.
Now, ready. What's your most embarrassing moment?
That's an interesting question. There's a few. I would say that one of my most embarrassing moments was in Mick. Uh, so I'm quite clumsy. I fall over quite a lot, and there was an assembly,
Yeah, I remember that.
and I was walking up to the stage, and I tripped and I fell. But the worst part, the thing that made it so embarrassing. So obviously, doing that in front of all the students was
Everyone
bad.
laughed.
But the worst thing was I fell right next to Miss Elizabeth. And I was really worried that I was gonna fall on her and make her fall down, and it was gonna be even worse. So thankfully, it wasn't as embarrassing as it could have been, but it was still pretty embarrassing.
I remember that, yeah.
Mm.
That made me laugh a lot.
I think it made everyone laugh.
Yeah. So, everyone ask this.
Okay,
How old are you? I
How
think
old
you're
am
in 20s.
I am in my 20s. I'm 29. I'm almost 30, but not yet. I mean, I think some of my friends have just turned 30, and when you watch TV shows, they make a really big deal about, oh no, I'm turning 30. Ah, it's awful. But now I'm there. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
So,
it does mean that I am double your age.
yeah. Yeah. But you're not that old.
Well, thank you. I did. I mean, before you said that, I didn't feel old, but now I feel a little bit old.
Sorry. Okay, so as you know, last year we were talking about pancakes and waffles.
Yes.
So, Daniela asked this. Why do you prefer pancakes to waffles?
Okay, so the first thing that I have to say is the only reason why I said I prefer pancakes is because you and Daniela and Luciana and everyone in G7 didn't stop saying waffles, and I didn't know why. Right? I like waffles. I can tell you that pancakes are better because you can make them easily at home. Right? And also, my wife has started doing these amazing pancakes that are about this thick.
Oh, those fluffy ones.
And I can tell you that that is better than any soup, any waffle.
Yeah. I remember last year when we were like, waffles, pancakes,
Yeah.
all day. Yeah.
It was quite annoying, to be honest.
Yeah. So now the next wing.
Oh, well.
I'm
I
not
tried
ready.
one of these before, and they are pretty spicy.
I'm not ready for this.
Ooh.
I'm shaking. I'm not lying. I'm shaking.
Well, I'm not shaking, but I can definitely feel it, and I could do with a little bit more water.
Yeah. Have a lot of water.
Yeah, I can see. Oh, so a trip behind the curtain. I've just got some more water.
Wow. Magic.
Yeah. Oh. Oh.
That was really hot.
That's really spot. And there's one more.
Yeah.
Okay, so go on. What's your next question?
What's your favorite movie?
Oh, difficult. Think I think what's your favorite movie is a very similar question to what's your. I feel like I'm talking really quickly. I feel like the question, what's your favorite movie, is very similar to what's your favorite food. So there are different movies that you would watch at different times. I would say that a movie that I would watch over and over and over and over again is Spider-Man: Homecoming.
Wow.
I really, really love that movie. I don't think it's my favourite movie ever. There are lots of other movies that I watched and I adore, but they're not movies that I would. I just when I decide I want to relax and watch a movie, I would watch it. So a movie that I love is Moonlight. It won an Oscar a few years ago. It's fantastic. Uh, Another movie that I really love is Schindler's List, but that's not a movie that I would want to watch over and over again because it makes you cry so much. But I think that sort of my favourite movies are generally sort of drama, quite heavy, acting-y movies, and they're not movies that you sort of want to continually watch. So I'd say that a movie that I really want to watch over and over again is Spider-Man: Homecoming.
Wow. 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 I like romantic movies.
Uh-huh.
Romantic comedies or drama.
Mm-hmm.
Like After or The Notebook.
I like The Notebook.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Made me cry a lot. Yeah. Now, who's your favorite NBA player?
Well, I don't really know anything about basketball. I don't really watch basketball at all. I know that there is a basketball player called Steph Curry,
Yeah.
and curry is one of my favourite foods. So I will say Steph Curry because I've never tried James. James is not a food. James is not a food. Brian is not a food. Jordan is not a food. So curry is a food, and so Steph Curry is my favourite basketball player.
Interesting. Really interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what's your favorite color?
My favourite colour is I think it's blue. I would say blue.
That's my favorite color too.
Great minds think alike, Rafaella.
Yeah. So, the next point.
Oh, the last one.
Yeah.
I mean, I can tell Rafaella is very, very red, and I'm feeling.
I'm shaking.
Yeah, I'm
Like,
feeling nervous.
oh.
All right, cheers.
Here. Mm?
Oh yeah,
Wow.
no, that's definitely spicy.
Yeah.
Woo!
Oh.
I think I need all the water. Oh,
I still have a lot.
you're gonna need it.
Mm.
Right, go on. Give me the
I'm hot.
questions.
I'm really hot.
Yeah.
I'm red. Okay. Okay. So. So, if you could change your name, what name would you choose?
Oh, I don't know. Okay, so when I was at school, in my French class, my friends told me that I looked like I didn't look like somebody called George. Oh, I think I'm speaking quickly again. I just want to get this over. So my friends told me that I didn't look like somebody called George. I looked like Norman. My name was Norman.
Okay.
So I guess if I was gonna have to change my name, I would change my name to Norman.
Okay, so hi, Mr. Norman.
Mr. Norman.
How are you, Mr. Norman?
Yeah,
Ready
it sounds a
for
bit. It doesn't feel like the name would stick.
Okay, so are you ready for the last question, Mr. Norman?
I guess so. Yeah.
Okay. Who do you most admire?
Oh, Rafaela. No, I don't. That was not the answer to the question. Who do I most admire? Well, so last trimester I made a video, about the person, my hero, my personal hero, and I said that the person that you should most admire should be yourself. But I would say that, especially right now, it's going to sound really like tacky, but I admire students right now that are having to stay at home and they're still getting on with their work and they're doing really well, and I'm really proud of them. And that would be my answer to who do I most admire right now.
Wow, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you're gonna make your students cry.
Well, I hope so. The wings have made you cry.
Yeah, really bad. And at the same time, I'm really hot.
Yeah, me too. I guess.
I'm sweating and shaking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't really want to do this again.
Me neither.
You know.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I'm taking control back again.
Hey.
So thank you very much, Rafaella, for doing this with me. At the beginning I had a really lovely time. At the end, less so, but that was the wings' fault. That wasn't your fault. But thank you very much for joining me on this special episode of Isolation Station. Thank you.
Having
Yeah, it was an absolute pleasure.
Yeah, I had a great time.
Excellent. So thank you, if you're still watching, for staying to the end. Thank you for joining us. If you'd like to be on the podcast, if you have any topics you'd like to talk about, if you want us to do this again, please don't say you want us to do this again. Don't forget to give this video a like. Don't forget to subscribe to MickTube and leave a comment on the Instagram page. Thank you very much, everybody, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.